JBNN, we keep you informed. I'm Michelle Jones, and in the news, no bailout for failed financial institutions, says Holness. The government will not bail out any failed financial institution, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has declared. He was speaking at the annual Jamaica Stock Exchange Capital Markets Conference on Tuesday night. The government will not socialize any debt and will not socialize the failure of our banks. They need to be prudent and protect their customers, said Holness, going off script in his address.
The government will not socialize any debt, and we will not socialize the failure of our banks to be prudential and to protect their customers. Were we to do that, it would send a very bad signal to the banks and investment houses that they can be negligent and expect the bank to cover their negligence. That will not happen. That got us into a crisis which took us decades to get out of, which made the entire country poor. What must we do with crises? We must prepare for them, and we must use the opportunities that they give, which is what we're doing now, to strengthen the regulations. But there's one other thing that we must do with crises. Crises repeat themselves, and we must learn from them. Don't be afraid to clap. I know I have to deliver some uncomfortable truths, because even in this audience, it is not a fully agreed position. There are those who are quietly and secretly harboring those thoughts. But we must learn from our past crises and be bold to speak the truth about them. We must not make the same mistakes we made already. But what must we do now? We must ensure that those who are responsible are held to account. And I want to use this platform to say that there will be absolutely no political interference, no political cover, no association. We want to get to the truth of this matter, to uncover it and to expose it, and to bring those responsible to account, and to secure justice for the victims. So I have given directions regarding transparency. And you would have seen today entities making known their connections or association so that the public can make their own determination. For far too long, there is a view that somewhere, somehow, there is a political figure lurking in the background preventing the full force of the law from operating. So if there is one other learning from this, is that there is no such political succor, protection, or diversion taking place. The full force of the law in this matter must be brought to bear. If we don't do that, then our market, our free financial market, our free and competitive market, which is what distinguishes Jamaica from other markets, financial markets in the region, it will not work. It works when the players and actors know that they must operate at the highest standards of integrity and probity. If not, they will face the consequences of the law. And that is what we're doing now.
The JC Regional Capital Market Conference 2023 will run until Thursday at the Jamaica Pegasus Hotel under the theme Capital Markets Redefined, Achieving the Impossible. Suspect being sought after Clarendon murder. A man is dead and a suspect is being sought by the police following the shooting death of a resident of Mount Hindmost in Clarendon. The deceased has been identified as Selvin Dunkley, a 58-year-old farmer of the usually quiet rural community. Information received indicate that residents heard loud explosions that sounded like gunshots about 9:15 p.m. on Monday. However, no report was made to the police. About 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday, residents discovered the lifeless body of Dunkley and summoned the police. Cops arrived to find Dunkley's body in a yard close to his house. There were gunshot wounds to his head and neck. The body was removed to the Maple Hospital, where Dunkley was pronounced dead. According to the police, a suspect is currently being sought in connection with the incident. Retired cop found dead. A retired policeman is believed to have committed suicide at his home in Wellington Heights, St. Andrew, on Tuesday afternoon. He has been identified as Lloyd Anthony Wilson, otherwise called Willow, and Patrick Gray, a deputy superintendent of police. Information received is that Wilson was at home with several family members when they heard an explosion in the upstairs bedroom. The police were summoned and on their arrival found the door to the bedroom locked. The door was kicked open and the officers entered the room and went through the closet into the bathroom, where they found Wilson clad in a grey t-shirt and blue underwear with what appeared to be a gunshot wound to the center of the forehead. It is understood that he was in a sitting position on the floor near the toilet. A gun was on the floor to his left side in a pool of blood, and one spent casing was also found in the bathroom. Holness and JLP say they have no accounts at SSL. Prime Minister Andrew Holness says he currently has no active account or funds at fraudulent investment firm Stocks and Securities Limited, SSL. In a media release on Tuesday afternoon, Holness noted that he had disclosed in February 2016 that he held an investment brokerage account with SSL, which was opened in 2008. However, he said in September 2021, he liquidated the last remaining financial instrument managed by SSL and gave instructions for his account to be closed. I have no funds currently with SSL and have not done any business with SSL since September 2021, Holness said. He further stated that neither he nor any member of his family has ever borrowed from SSL or received any form of credit facility from the investment firm. The public must be assured that the political class has no conflict of interest that would prevent, delay, or dilute efforts to ensure that the truth of the allegations is uncovered. Those responsible are held to account and the victims receive justice, he stated, in highlighting the need for transparency in the matter. In the meantime, the Jamaica Labour Party JLP, which is led by Holness, said it has never and does not currently hold any accounts at SSL. General Secretary of the party, Dr. Horace Chang, who is also National Security Minister, said the JLP has full confidence the government will use all its legal powers to resolve the issues at SSL. Chang also urged those with information on the alleged fraud at the company to cooperate fully with the authorities. 14-year-old charged for armor found in bag at hospital. A 14-year-old boy from Central Road, Kingston 10, has been charged with unauthorized possession of ammunition and offensive weapon following an incident at a hospital in the corporate area on Tuesday. Reports from the Denham Town Police are that about 4:30 p.m. the teen was assisted to the hospital when his bag was taken from him. His bag was searched and 2 rounds of ammunition and 4 pairs of scissors were seized. A report was made to the police and the teen was arrested and subsequently charged following a question and answer session in the presence of his attorney. A court date for him is being finalized. Man and woman charged after being caught with car trunk full of clothing items. A man and a woman were dragged to the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday after being caught with a car trunk filled with clothing items and not being able to explain how they got them. Troy Thompson and Shanna Campbell were charged with unlawful possession of property. Thompson was also charged with additional offences of driving without a driver's license and driving without insurance coverage. They both pleaded guilty to the offence of unlawful possession of property when they stood before Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague. But for the other matters, Thompson is to appear before a traffic court judge. The prosecution did not reveal the value of the items recovered. Defending his action, Thompson said 2 men approached him to charter his vehicle. He said he drove the men to a house on Washington Boulevard where they brought out the items and loaded them into his vehicle. They are to return to court on February 16 for file completion. Thompson was remanded until that date. Woman beater in viral video reportedly blames frustration, reveals suicidal thoughts. The man was captured last week in a viral video, viciously kicking the mother of his child outside the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court, reportedly told her afterwards that he acted out of frustration and that he felt like killing himself. Jovan Stevenson, while leaving the courthouse last Wednesday after his previous assault case against the complainant was mentioned, was caught on camera kicking the woman repeatedly as she laid on the ground and hurling expletives at her before fleeing the scene. He was captured and charged on Friday, brought before the court, and was ultimately ordered to pay $250,000 in restitution. On Tuesday, when the court mentioned the original assault case against him, the complainant was seen nursing wounded fingers covered with bandages with a splint for support. While explaining the ordeal she went through last Wednesday when Stevenson assaulted her, the complainant said she is unable to care for their children. Turning her attention to the accused, Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague told him, "You look pa one long stretch," adding that his behavior is shameful. Turning her attention back to the complainant, Cole Montague asked her if Stevenson had attempted to interfere with her since the incident, to which she revealed that following the attack on Wednesday, Stevenson called her and said he did it out of frustration. Additionally, she said he told her on Friday that he felt like killing himself. With 2 assault cases against him, Stevenson was remanded and ordered to return to court on March 30 when both matters will be mentioned. Man jailed for trying to get gun license through links. A bar operator who had plans to get married this year may have to reschedule as he expressed his intent to use the money to repay almost $500,000 someone gave him to obtain a firearm license. The groom-in-waiting, Dean Denton, was charged with 3 counts of obtaining money by means of false pretense after he collected $450,000 from the complainant to acquire a firearm license for him. After Denton failed to produce it, the complainant reported the matter to the police. He was subsequently arrested and charged with the offences to which he pleaded guilty. When the matter was mentioned in the Kingston and St. Andrew Parish Court on Tuesday, Denton said he was anxious to get the issue behind him. "Me can't bother with the back and forth thing and the jail thing, Your Honour. Me dey jail from the 19th of November. Your Honour, I show me the behind bars me not have the money. The money when me dey go use to my wedding, me go take it back and pay him off because me can't bother," Denton said. He said that his savings were depleted after retaining the services of a lawyer who no longer represents him. Explaining how he got himself in the mess, Denton insisted that while he offered to help the complainant, he never held himself out as an agent of the Firearm Licensing Authority, FLA. "Your Honour, me never tell him I work at FLA. Your Honour, him know how the thing a go. And him no want talk," Denton shared, before adding that he was just caught up in a situation. "Your Honour, me know somebody will say him can do it. Him trust me through the link, and even at the last part me tell him to give me 2 more weeks, and if he not processing at the 2-week time, I will refund the money. It's like when the 2 weeks come, as some police that take me up in the state of emergency," he related. Senior Parish Judge Lauren Cole Montague said she'd like to know more about those links. The investigating officer told the court that Denton has another matter of a similar nature at the St. Catherine Parish Court. A social inquiry report was requested and his antecedent records were requested to assist in sentencing on April 21. Denton was remanded until then. Government strengthens healthcare delivery through hospitals, says Tufton. The government says it has taken steps to strengthen healthcare delivery through hospitals that provide care for newborns, including measures to ensure greater compliance with the recommended standards for staffing and infection prevention and control. The measures were highlighted by Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, at a forum on Tuesday to share the main findings of a review of the special care nurses at Victoria Jubilee Hospital, Bustamante Hospital for Children, and the Spanish Town Hospital. The review, undertaken by the Pan-American Health Organization PAHO, comes from a technical mission carried out between October 14 and 22, 2022, and details the rapid assessments of infection prevention and control in the nurseries at the targeted facilities. Speaking at the briefing held at the Terra Nova All Suite Hotel in St. Andrew, Dr. Tufton said that the PAHO report, which the ministry received on Thursday, January 19, mirrors the results of the internal investigations done at the facilities and the regional level. These investigations, he noted, showed, among other things, low staff-to-patient ratios and non-compliance with some infection prevention and control protocols. This includes inadequate separation between infants and gowns use or contact precautions worn from one patient to another. The ministry implemented measures to safeguard life and health at the 3 facilities, including improving sterilization, cleaning and disinfection monitoring or auditing of infection prevention and control practices, and undertaking an assessment of staffing levels. Dr. Tufton said that in keeping with the advice by the ministry team and PAHO, quarterly audits will be done at the health facilities. He noted that the frequent monitoring will enable early detection, allowing for intervention to decrease morbidity and mortality resulting from issues such as bacterial infection, which impacted the Victoria Jubilee Hospital in 2022. The minister noted further that an arrangement has been reached with the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service to boost the cadre of specialized health staff at medical institutions. This is an effort to strengthen the overall health system to deal with matters including overcrowding and other issues, he said. Dr. Tufton noted that while the bacterial infection affected Victoria Jubilee, the PAHO team also examined the other named institutions. He said that the ministry regrets that the circumstances were created which claimed the lives of babies at the institution. We have to learn the lessons from these circumstances to avoid a recurrence of them. We have to take that extra care to recognize the importance of gown changing, protection gears, and other control and prevention measures, the minister added. Dr. Tufton noted further that to the extent possible adjustments will be made to move the staff complement towards achieving the World Health Organization standard of 1 nurse to 1 to 2 babies or newborns receiving intensive care and 1 nurse to 3 babies or newborns receiving intermediate care. The Ministry of Health in a statement said there is to be ongoing collaboration with PAHO to, among other things, support advanced training for infection prevention and control focal points, and design targeted healthcare-associated infections surveillance programs that are consistent with services provided in inpatient facilities. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.